Hello, and welcome to my review of the fourth episode of The Book of Boba Fett, directed by Kevin Tancharoen. Hopefully I said that right. I feel like I think I had mixed feelings about this one. A lot of it was decent, but there were just a lot of things that, I'm critical. I complain a lot. I have a bunch of things that I like about this, and a lot of things that I thought were kind of dumb. But first off, let's start with negativity. Okay, so in the beginning, there are more of those mod characters that were like cyborgs. So Boba Fett takes Fennec Shand to have her wounds healed, and there were all these annoying mods again. And I think part of the reason that they're annoying is that they have this iced tea angry face on all the time, even though they look completely unthreatening. And it's like, where does this fake anger come from? Like, why are they like? I don't know. It's like I wonder if they cast them because they were friends of somebody in charge, and they're like, they got on the show for no other reason, because like they don't fit on the planet. They don't look like they live there, and like everywhere you go on Tatooine, it seems like there are aliens. But for some reason, when these mods show up, they're all human. There's not I don't think I saw a single alien mod. It's like, why are the only humans on this planet a part of this dumb mod culture? And they're like, yeah, it's just, I'm surprised that like they just don't seem like they belong there. And then they're just like, they've got these angry faces on it, and I just don't. I'm not afraid of them. I wouldn't be afraid of them if I was there. I don't believe. I don't believe they're tough. Like, I don't understand what they're angry at. And then there's this stupid techno music that's playing the whole time that they're there, and the techno music, I hate it. It just kills. Like, the rest of the music in the show is moody, and it just represents the moods that are happening. And the techno music is just like, what is this, a stupid kids TV show? It sounds like the music from, I don't know, some dumb, after school cartoon show. So the mods fix up Fennec Shand. I don't like the mods. That was the only time the mods were in this one. They mentioned how they were combing the streets later, and I'm just glad I didn't see them after that. So I guess the show's got that going for them. There were less of these stupid mod characters. I feel like Boba Fett, the way he talks is starting to get on my nerves a little bit. Like, he always says, "I am Boba Fett." Like, he just has this dramatic way of speaking. And like, I don't know, he can't just say, "I'm Boba Fett." I am Boba Fett. Every time he does that, it just annoys me a little bit. I don't know. There were some kind of sometimes Boba Fett seems like he's kind of like more of his character is more of like a rock. Like, he's not unnerved easily. Like, he makes firm, solid decisions. Like, I like the part where he was sending his bantha away, and he was like, "All right, time to go on the mission. Go be a bantha and go make babies with other banthas." And then Fennec Shand was like, "Oh, what if we don't get our ship back?" And he was like, "Oh, well, if we don't get our ship back, we're gonna be dead." Like, I just like how he just firmly put his foot down and was like, we're either gonna do this or die. And I just thought that was kind of a cool motivating factor, incentivization. Like, it seemed strong and maybe characteristic of who he was. So that we're breaking into Jabba's palace to get his ship back. And I like how they got some of the robot's voice from Return of the Jedi. They matched it perfectly. Like the one where he was talking about how, there'll be use for you on the Master's sail barge, when they were talking to R2 about how he was going to serve drinks. Like they got that robot was there, and they got the voice exactly. Oh, when he snuck into Jabba's palace and they were in the kitchen fighting the robots, I thought that scene was kind of dumb because there was this stupid little robot with these Bugs Bunny ears, and there was like this stupid comedy scene where he was chasing them around the kitchen, and it just, I don't know, it just seemed foolish. Like Boba Fett couldn't handle this little Bugs Bunny robot, and then I'm like, what are they trying to make him into Elmer Fudd with his bald head? Like, it just seemed like they were trying to diminish Boba Fett. And Fennec Shand was really, I mean, she was kind of cool when she was like being strong and silent, but she just had this like, I'm a bitchy English teacher kind of tone the whole time. Whenever she commented on, like when Boba Fett was like trying to kill this little robot, she was like, "Are we done here?" Like those kinds of comments. You don't need them. I feel like the character's better than that. She's like, "Yeah, can we go now?" And she just closes her eyes in disappointment, like, "Oh, what a loser! Oh, can we go now?" And it was just unneeded. Like, okay, what if he probably could have killed the thing faster, and the whole comedy act where the rabbit guy's jumping around the kitchen, like that could have been quicker, but it's still a problem. He could have went and sound the alarm. I don't know. I just feel like they could have cut that scene out and not have Fennec Shand be so bitchy. Oh, can we go now? Are you done wasting time? It was just so annoying. Oh, and then when they got into the ship, and I guess the doors were locked or they weren't opening. And so Boba Fett was just flying around in the hangar bay, just crashing into things. I like how they crashed into one of the sail barges and knocked that over. That was kind of cool that they had more of them. And Fennec Shand was being more bitchy. Like, she was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And then Boba Fett was like, I can't see anything, or I can't get the door open." And she was like, "I'm a little busy here." And it's like, nobody asked you to do anything, bitch. I'm only talking to your stupid ass because you asked me what the hell I was doing. I wouldn't speak to you otherwise. You're annoying. Like, that's what Boba Fett should have said. "I'm a little busy here." this stupid teenager who can't be bothered. And then, like, after they finally escape, she's like, "Next time we stick to the plan." And it's like, when did they deviate from the plan? At what point did they deviate from the plan? I mean, maybe they could have planned a little bit better and opened the door before they both got in the ship. I don't know. She was just so bitchy. Like in the middle of the episode, she was just dripping with bitchery. She was just like getting her bitchy sauce all over everything. Ugh. Boba Fett, like, I feel like he could have done a lot more. Like, the only time they had him do anything was when he was like fumbling with that little robot rabbit character. And Fennec Shand, like, I get that she's supposed, they're trying to paint her as like the Martin Riggs of the Star Wars universe. Maybe not the Martin Riggs. Maybe that's a bad comparison because she's not funny. But she's like a crack shot, and you know, I get that they're trying to make her deadly. But can Boba Fett do something other than pet animals and and give them pieces of meat that are way too small and that would not. Here, have a Tic Tac animal. Like he gives them like these large animals little pieces of meat that couldn't possibly satiate them. Can he do? I mean, I get there was the scene where like when they got the ship back, they flew up behind the Nikto gang and they just shot them from Slave One. And just blew them all out of the off of the desert. I thought that scene was actually kind of cool. That was like the one thing he did in this entire episode that was cool. The show's about him, but he doesn't do anything cool anymore. But I did like when he just shot all the speeder bikes. And then when they blew them all up, Fennec Shand just looks at him and goes and just nods approvingly. I like that part. But yeah, he should be doing more. He's hardly done anything. There was one scene where he goes up to the Sarlacc pit, and he wants to look at his armor out of there, and he flies the Slave One ship above the Sarlacc and looks down, and he can't see anything. He turns the light on, and then at some point, the Sarlacc throws some tentacles up and grabs onto the ship and starts pulling it down into the hole. And then Fennec Shand, she's like struggling and gets her seatbelt off, and then hits this button that drops like some kind of seismic charge or some kind of ion blast. Like it was blue. I think it might have been like an ion explosion. In the Star Wars universe, there's like an ion cannon that immobilizes other, like in the X-Wing game and TIE Fighter, they would, if you wanted to incapacitate another ship, you'd shoot it with the ion cannon and it would shut down all the electronics and prevent it from moving. And in this explosion seemed like it had a similar sound, and it was like blue flame. So I think it was some kind of ion depth charge or something like that. I forget what it's called. But she released that and it dropped down into the Sarlacc pit and I guess killed the Sarlacc. And again, Boba Fett should have done that. Like there's this thing, like Fennec Shand knows her way around Boba Fett's ship better than he does. Boba Fett has first-hand experience with the Sarlacc. He planned to go into the Sarlacc and get his armor back. Shouldn't he have come up, like, worked this out a little bit in his head? Like, what if the Sarlacc comes out? I know it's got tentacles. I know it could grab me. And then it's his ship. Like, he knows what his ship can do. It's his ship. He lives there. Or had lived there. But no, Fennec Shand, she knows her way around Boba Fett's ship better than he does, and she hits the button and does the action that he should have done. Boba Fett suffered in that pit for years. He should have been the one to resolve that issue, to kill that Sarlacc pit. It should have been him. That would have been more satisfying because he was the one affected by the Sarlacc pit. It was his plan to go to the Sarlacc pit, look in the Sarlacc pit, look for the armor, and possibly kill the Sarlacc. He should have done all those things. But no, he was just ineffectual and was like, oh, I can't fly the ship, I'm scared. And then Fennec Shand did everything for him. The show is called The Book of Boba Fett, not The Book of Fennec Shand. Like there's this, it reminded me of that scene in the Force Awakens. Is that where it was? Where Rey gets on the Millennium Falcon and Han Solo. It's his ship. He lived there. It's a ship that he lives in. It's his house basically, and she knows her way better around it. Better than he does, and she's just like, oh, I bypassed the thing and recalibrated the whatsa, and Han Solo's like, well, I don't know how to do things in my own house. I don't know, like it's just like this weird Disney-fied theme. Like it almost seemed like, again, Kathleen Kennedy or some dumb Rian Johnson type character was whispering in the director's ear or the writer's ear, whoever was responsible for this dumb BS. But anyway, Fennec Shand showed up Boba Fett once again on his own show. And yeah, it was kind of it was kind of weird. And then Boba Fett climbed down into the Sarlacc pit, and they couldn't find his armor. One thing. And there was this one line where when they were going back to. I think after he climbed out of the Sarlacc pit, they were sitting down by a campfire, and then Boba Fett was talking about how his plans for becoming the big boss man of Tatooine, and then Fennec Shan was like, "Living with the Tuskens has made you soft." And it's like, remember when the Tusken Raiders were tough? Remember when Star Wars was tough? And I don't know. It just seemed like so symbolic of how weak and pathetic Star Wars is becoming. It's just becoming so woke and anti-white male. Not that Tamara Morrison is white, but I guess it's anti-male. It's like men are just weak and ineffectual. But anyway, there was some cool stuff. There were a few cool scenes. Like I said, I like when he shot up the Nikto gang from Slave One. I like when the Wookiee scene. Like, I feel like I like the Wookiee, Black Curse Stanton, whatever his name is. But there was this one scene where he was like just laying a beating down on these Trandoshan gamblers. And then he picked one up and he was like freaking out with anger. And this Twi'lek lady comes over and gave this big speech about how you're a gladiator. You've beaten all these people over the course of your life. You don't need to beat up this Trandoshan guy. And the Wookiee was like listening and considering it, and he seemed like he was kind of affected emotionally by her speech. And then he just got mad. He ripped the guy's arm out, which is, I guess, characteristic of Wookiees, is that they do that. Yeah, I guess there were a couple of scenes. There was a scene at the end where there were Trandoshans, and the Wookiee didn't seem to have a problem with them. He kept his emotions in check. And there was another scene where Boba Fett was like, "Here's a little pork chop," and he hands this little pork chop to the Rancor, who's like a giant. Like, that thing's gonna get stuck in his teeth, and it's not gonna amount to much. Like, I just thought it was weird, like the disproportionately small scraps of meat that Boba Fett keeps giving to these animals. Like that's gonna ooh, that was so filling, that little pork chop. But I don't know. One thing about the end of the show is the music, that like where the music kind of goes like it's just this weird, uncharacteristic dude singing, and I thought it was weird. I guess that's all I have to say about the episode. It had a lot of stuff that I kind of hated, but it had a couple of cool, like, I feel like this whole series is like that, has been like that, where there are like a handful of cool things sprinkled in there, but a lot of it is just annoying, and like, I wonder, I don't know, like, I don't get a feel for who Jon Favreau is as a writer. Like, I feel like in the first few episodes of The Mandalorian, everything was creepy and kind of cool. And I feel like I want that to be the creepiness and tension like that. I want that to be the main emotion or mood of Star Wars television. And I just keep getting like cuteness and corniness, like Power Ranger like corniness, and I don't know. I feel like if I were to give this one a score, I feel like I'm going C. Maybe not a C. Maybe C plus, B minus. No, you know what? C plus, because I feel like I've complained more than I've Then I've talked about what the things I liked. I liked the Wookiee ripping the guy's arm out of his socket. I liked shooting at the Nikto gang. But I just didn't like how Boba Fett was just so weak and just constantly being shamed and shown up by Fennec Shand. I like Fennec Shand as a character when she's not being bitchy English teacher. Really? Can we go now? Are you done here? Like those kinds of lines where she's just like, I can't believe I'm hanging around with this loser. Eye roll. Like when she's not doing that stuff, she's cool. But yeah, I'm going C+. I think I'm done talking about this. See you later.